My name is Liam Garvey. I am in my first year of business economics at Brock. So throughout high school, a little background on myself, football was my passion. I always played whenever I could, whether it was for my school or my city, and nothing could take that away from me. Like I was playing whenever I could, as much as I could. Unfortunately, I had some health issues along the way, which required me to not play for 6 months at a time. So with that in mind, I decided to return for a year of high school. With that opportunity, I got to play an extra year of football, which got me a scholarship to Waterloo. So when I was called to be a recruit and to sign up with the team and the coaches were calling me and everything like that, it was such a rush. Like I couldn't believe it. It was all I've wanted throughout high school was to just play at the next level. And that's all I practiced for, that's all I trained for. And so I had a number of months where I could just prepare for it. And I was so focused, so ready, so excited, especially to go to school as well. And by the time training camp rolled around, the second day I got concussed. I thought I was the big dog. I was going to try and play a different position that I'm used to just to prove myself, and didn't work out too great. So with that out of the way, I was 2 weeks behind on practicing where my spot on the roster was, and it's already hard enough to start university like on its own, but then when you're behind already in one thing rather than the other, it's hard to catch up. So with that in mind, continue on to kinesiology. So I had 5 courses per semester. All of them are science. So every single day there was the demand as a student athlete. You had your obligations for football. You had your obligations for school, your friends, your social life, your family. A lot to balance, and it's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy because nothing that is ever worth it comes easy. So I thought, you know what, it's supposed to be tough, but I'm still enjoying it for now. And going through every single day was a real struggle because you had to miss something. You either missed class or you missed a practice. So every single day, when you want to give 110% into everything you do, it's impossible. I couldn't do it. So I felt like whatever I was missing out on each day, I was letting that opportunity go to waste. Like I would either fall behind in my marks or I would miss a practice and there goes my roster spot right away. Not only with that, I had some mental health issues in the past that, made getting out of bed every day a struggle. And with all of these responsibilities as well, it wasn't a very good mix. Now, as a student athlete, you're expected to carry all of this responsibility by yourself. You can play sports, you can do school, you want to do both, so you should be able to handle it, obviously. But that's not the case for everyone. A lot of times, athletes have a lot of pride in themselves, and they're saying, you know what, I can do it myself, I don't need anyone else, I don't need help, I can just shoulder it all. But it's not ever that easy. So when I found out about midway through the season that one of my family members had fallen fatally ill, and he was hours away, so I couldn't visit him either. All I could do was worry, panic, get updates through social media or through my other family members, but it took away from everything. And so by the time exams rolled around, the season was over, I was living an unhealthy lifestyle. I didn't want to leave my room, which is strange because usually in any kind of situation, I'm social enough to go out, do my own thing, but something was different, something was wrong. And so talking to my coaches, I told them all the struggles I was having, and they got me into contact with a counselor. Now, it was hard for me to ask for help because, like I said, as a student athlete, you carry a lot of pride with you. You're representing not only yourself, but your team, your school at all times. So you have this reputation you have to uphold. So asking for help was really, really tough to just get out of the way, especially to your coaches. Because you think it's a sign of weakness, but it's totally not. It's just it's something you have to go through to really understand. Now, with this counselor, everything changed. Like, it gave me a different output or a different insight on how everything was working in my life. It was a different perspective on it, and I realized, you know, you don't have to stay in a situation where you're extremely unhappy and it's affecting your health. And that was huge for me because I was so used to just, you know, don't quit, like hang in there, don't quit. But at the same time, like I was caught in this struggle between doing something I love, but it's also taking away my happiness. So after seeing this counselor, it opened my eyes, I had a clear mind, and I made the decision to step away from school, step away from the team, and kind of pave my own path. And so after that happened, I worked, I figured out my marks and how to transfer, and when Brock accepted me, I realized this is one of the very few universities in Ontario that doesn't have a football team. And so I thought, you know what, we'll see how it goes, because football was a part of my life for so long. I was just gonna say, you know what, let's see what it's like. And then lucky enough for me, Niagara started a team right when I got to Brock. So it's not always closing doors. Closing doors isn't always such a bad thing, because other ones will open for you when that kind of thing happens. And I can say after finishing my exams from first semester that transferring was one of the best things I could have done. It's not always changing your situation to make your situation better for you, but seeking help is huge. And that is what I would like to encourage to all student athletes going through some kind of mental illness or a mental block, a challenge where you love your sport and you feel so committed to it, but at the same time something's not right, something is keeping you from being happy. It takes a lot of pride, takes a lot of guts to ask for help, but I highly recommend it because it'll open your eyes and you'll either realize that you're in the right situation, but something is affecting it, or you realize you're not in the right situation. So when I was introduced to the SAMHI Initiative, a friend approached me and wanted to know more about my year at Waterloo and my experiences with that and how I dealt with it. And so we talked for quite a while, and he introduced the SAMHI Initiative to me, and I couldn't help but feel motivated to share my story, share my experiences, and hopefully guide student athletes down the right path to seeking help, because I know it takes a lot to just ask for help in the first place, but getting that out of the way is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. So on any team you're a part of, talk to your coaches, talk to your family, talk to your friends, and be honest with yourself. If you feel like you're depressed or your anxiety is crippling you, just talk. It's that simple. Like, get your feelings out, because when you internalize them, it doesn't change anything. It makes it worse, if anything, because it's all on you. It doesn't all have to be on your shoulders. So what the SAMHI Initiative is trying to do is to spread awareness on student athlete mental health. And when I heard about it, I couldn't not help. There's plenty of outlets around campus in terms of counseling, organizations, groups you can join that you can really get your inner feelings out there. And when you talk to people like counselors or people who are going through the same thing, it becomes so much more clear what the issue is and how to treat it, because it doesn't go away. Sometimes I have my days. It's not due to football, but I still have my days. But knowing how each person individually deals with their own problems, it opens your eyes and you realize that it's unique, but it's not going to change if you don't get it out there in the first place.